Alright, a daily update soon. See, I make a say, do to say, any Jabagana pa, baby, I will be a celebrity, a John Dramani Mahama, any the NDC. Now, videos be Hanoma, who's a Encophonia Japan, one of my bonds, I just say, a solo kunu do master to Modiano. It be MPP for ni be cry, just say, or mono names or marine any day. Or my room with t-shirt, I just or moji NDC for any day, idea. Ashe. Because someone say and Guasiaka or my video anymore. But my bago cried your patch or suni na or t-shirts in now was soon. Was on no and say a ND's MPP are in area. But see an ambanesa young video no said the uncle for SC celebrity or a mountain so.
Do you think Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, his persona as a vice presidential candidate, the type of campaign I have to insist from about 2012, having lectures on the economy, etc. Do you think that he should have changed his style, not looking at the invectives, the
visual mockery style,
throwing jabs at your opponent, because your opponent is now not a president, but a former president and the opposition leader, and the times are different.
You see,
the campaign style.
What the campaigns don't do. You see, if you go to the US or UK, whatever action that the candidate does, it is subject to focus group discussion. You put the person and the message in the focus group, analyze it, and see how people react to it. If the feedback is positive, then you keep doing it. If it's not good, you withdraw from it. I don't think they were using polling to guide their steps, their actions. Maybe poll to decide what should we talk about. But even the response of voters wasn't being tested. You must know whether people are taking it or they are not accepting it as a way to communicate to them. So we have to go into science.
Science and data.
Science and data. Look, when you use science and data, you never get it wrong. And data that is not emotionally attached. Don't have feeling for data. Otherwise, you become
compromised.
So that would mean that there's something that worked for the former president. What was it? Because this is almost like a comeback that was after 2020, where he didn't succeed within the COVID period.
I'm quite sure that he was guided by polls. Obviously, we're doing free polls. Nobody was paying for it.
Still, nobody's
paying for it. So that was a service to the country, and there was useful stuff in that poll for him to look at and use. And indeed, he's a very experienced politician, ran the country before. So he was probably able to maintain a disciplined campaign. Disciplined campaign.
How do you mean?
You don't see a lot of gaffes in his campaign. Very little mistakes were done by his campaign. Even the choice of running mate, people were hoping that he would change something. But if he had done that, believe me, he would have destabilized his campaign.
Unless you don't change a winning team?
No.
But it wasn't a winning team, it wasn't at the time.
You see, turbulence is what campaigns don't need. It needs smoothness.
Consistency.
And there was no data showing that she wasn't what the people wanted. So why change it? And we were thinking, let's look at 2028. Look, a bird in hand is worth two in bush. How do you know you're going to even win this one? So he kept that discipline. And then you see DMB campaign making a tactical error in the decision of the vice presidential candidate he picked.
You call it tactical error?
Which is what?
Which is choosing Napo.
I mean, why do you say that?
Look, we have given the party data upon data. That showed that the weakness of MPP is not really in the base, but among certain demographic.
Like?
I'll come to there. So when you are picking a candidate, you look at the data and see where do we have weakness as a party in terms of trying to shore up our support to win the election. The data has shown consistently that among the charismatic churches, among the Pentecostals, who form about 45% of the Christians in this country, are not enthused about DMB. So what he needed to do was not look at MVP base, but look at the evangelical base.
All right, just hold on there. So I think that will have to be continued. Cookie T is with satellite station in Tamale. And Cookie, where are you exactly? What's the level of reception or excitement around you?
It's been amazing here in Tamale, and currently we are at the library, the Collation Center, the Tamale library at the Collation Center, where the Member of Parliament elect is about to be declared the winner. But quickly, just to get into the numbers for you, for presidential, John Mahama is in the lead right here with 69.53%, representing 48,374 of the votes. And Vice President Bawumia is in second with 29.67%, representing 20,643 of the votes. Now, for the incumbents, we already know that it is Honorable Murtala Muhammad. He is in the lead, yet to be declared by the EC, but of course, we can give you the numbers before the proper declaration is done. He's already here at the Collation Center. He is in the lead with 75.8%, representing 51,592. While the MPP's Sule Salifu is tagging along with 24.2%, representing, I think we need to check on this figure, but that is 24.2%. So we are here at the Collation Center getting ready for the EC's declaration. But the difference here, we can let you know the difference for presidential, which is 35,188. And we can confirm right here that President or ex-President Mahama or President-elect Mahama is in the lead in this place. We shall cross over now and engage the Honorable Member-elect Murtala Muhammad. Good morning, sir. Comrade, exactly, Comrade Murtala Muhammad. How are you feeling? What does this win mean for you?
Well, Cookie, we seem to be having a difficulty with the sound of Murtala Muhammad. Cookie? Well, so we'll have to go back to Cookie. If that sound is rectified, certainly. But Mr. Dankwa, you were on the analysis there.
I think I just
rounded up.
Well, you know my biggest fear, Musa, you can, attempt to answer this. And I'm sure later when we hand over to Nashoko, she might also like to consider that. I fear that presidential debates have ended, sadly for this country, because in 2016, Nana Akufo-Addo refused to debate John Mahama, and he still won the elections. In 2024, we're seeing John Mahama refuse to debate Dr. Bawumia, and he's won the elections. I think that going into the future, this disservice has been served on us as a people. We wouldn't have the choice of hearing from the two people, those who matter, those who want to lead us, debate on the policies that they want to implement. And for me, I think it's sad.
Mr. Musa Dankwa, could that be something that's based on science? Because if the issue of the economy becomes paramount, are there other considerations?
I believe the debates are useful. I do believe so. But we need to find an institution
reputable
that would you may impugn certain to other organizations. I think it should be a state institution, NCC.
Right.
In the US, you have a debate commission in the US.
Historically, the IEA has done it for us, and then we saw the head of the IEA take up his position as electoral.
All those kind of things, it sends a wrong signal. So if we have a state institution that is independent, NCC boss is there. If any government comes and she's still there, don't fire her. Let her do her job, and then they can have the the mission or the role of debating or creating a platform for debate, and it becomes part of our electoral processes. And you have one here, one there. We agree that this is how it's going to take.
Yeah.
And then we will be having a chance to interrogate people and be able to put people on the spot. Sometimes, look, good leaders are those who can think on their feet.
Yeah.
Think on their feet. Yeah. When you put them to debate and they are not capable, they will fall apart.
Yeah.
So,
and it was actually a debate that led to the pressure on Joe Biden to step down as president.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Yes. If he had gone ahead, he would have been completely swallowed by the. Even though he lost, he would have been worse.
I think within the scheme of things, then we'll have to relate to the press encounters that were had by John Dramani Mahama first, and then subsequently, after excessive pressure, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Their responses in those two events, did they influence the decisions of young people or voters generally?
Yes, it did. Look, after that press encounter by
John Mahama,
the
first time,
I think people were able to. He's been there before, so he then reassert himself as somebody who will lead again. In the case of Bawumia, truth be said, after that debate, that was the time he began to lose the floating voters.
I don't understand.
No.
Yes.
You mean on the issue of e-levy and if I do everything now, what would I do when I come into power?
If you follow social media, that wasn't the narrative they had wanted as a campaign. And it completely tore him apart. The polls that were done yesterday, exit poll, shows that he won only 31% of floating voters.
Your exit polls?
Yes. So from that point, we can give you a tracker that shows his decline among floating voters. He was conceding grounds to Nana Kwame among floating voters, and he never recovered.
If John Mahama hadn't done a comeback, he probably would have gone down in history, or probably gone to his grave as the first sitting president to suffer such a huge defeat in the history of this country. How is it ever possible that he comes back, being the first president, probably after 1992, to get the most outstanding victory ever in our history?
I think it tells you that Ghanaians are angry with the current system. In that they were prepared to do anything rather than retain the current government. What the results from coast to coast, from Hamile to Aflau, from Agizim to Sankasi, the grains have spread all over. It tells you something. People are not happy at all. Look at the grain map, Ahafo and Bono. Look, the last poll we did, and people were saying we're crazy. We said on the very, very bad day, MPP could win only 3 regions. On a very good day, they could win 2. I don't know the numbers right now coming from the region.
Yeah, we'll be updating the numbers formally as they come as well, and also as certified by the Electoral Commission. But in the meantime, let's go to Aswanse. It's where we have one of a good reporter so far, consistently great experience, Ibrahim Abubakar. Ibrahim, what's the latest from Aswanse?
Jubilation, as you can see, sight and sound, people are in the jubilant. Even though officially EC has not declared Muntaka as the parliamentary candidate to elect as making it a done deal for them, and they have started with the jubilation. In fact, the jubilation started just when Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia gave his concession address. He was considered fair. Now they are not more waiting for the Electoral Commission to officially also declare John Dramani Mahama as the president-elect for the Republic. So they have started with their jubilation. In fact, most of them are excited that Dr. Baumia saw the need to concede even before the electoral commission comes with the election. I was trying to engage with some of them, but I ended up with some of them. I think we have a video, we can take a listen to what they have been telling me with regard to Dr. Mahmoud Baumia.
No, the video is not ready, but just summarize those for us. If you have a number of them, you can also speak to them.
One, okay, so good afternoon. You are live on TV today. I'm seeing the jubilation by my picture. Why? The presidential candidate of the NDC has considered defeat even before PC and giving yes. What do you make of it?
Well, Ibrahim, we'll go back to those insights you have, the interaction with those excited residents of Asumase.
Yes, what Dr. Mahmoud Baumia did is in the right direction, and he has attained 100% respect from me, because I did not expect him to come so easily and concede defeat just like that. So, and in Ghana's history, this is the first time of which a candidate will come out less than 24 hours after voting to come and concede defeat and congratulate his fellow candidate. This is the first time in Ghana's history. So I really respect him 100%. He has done well. Kudos to him.
With the concession of the Vice President of the Republic, Baumia, and the 2024 NPP presidential candidate, he has just conceded defeat. And to us, the NDC in particular, and as well as constituency, we think it's